All right, welcome back to the last set of Group D, the elimination final between Lord Vedor and Wraxell. After what we've seen from Wraxell, not just sorry, Wraxell and Vedor, I'm actually super interested in this as both players are explosive in the early game, but maybe for different reasons. Volshock, how you feeling about this early game or this early game, this set?
I'm excited, and I think there's a lot of good storylines here. So first of all, they played in round one, and Vetter 2-0'd Wraxell,
Yeah.
right? So Wraxell's already on the back foot. However, this is an elimination match, and if you guys didn't watch qualifiers, Lord Vetter crushed Mirrored Stance, who is Wraxell's clanmate, and Mirrored Stance has since quit Bar. Apparently, that loss was just too much, is what we've been told. So I think there could be a little vendetta for Wraxell to maybe change fate,
Yep.
and not only for his personal victory to make it not get O2'd, but to
I feel
come
like
back and make a statement.
I feel like using the word crushed does not really represent of how insane that match was between Vedder and Mirrored. My God. I mean, we've probably been talking about it the whole tournament because it was literally too much fun to watch. Actually, so good.
Yes, if there's any series that you watch from the qualifiers, not even to learn or to
No,
see incredibly high
you'll learn
level
nothing.
bar, it's just like what happens when everything breaks down.
Yep. Yep. And the man decides. You can see the switch flip in his head. All right, base is dead. We're walking at him, and every single time he just hits that moment of switch flipping, and wins the game. He nearly won versus Sash. We watched this in the winners final, in the end of
Yeah.
that game. Like Sash had what 100 HP, I think.
Yeah, she
Like
survived off the com turret repairs. It was like
oh my god.
140 HP. Yeah, it was
Uh,
Vetter is incredible at going for the throat.
yeah.
But the thing that's exciting for me is that Wraxell is actually, I feel like both these players have shined in the early game.
Yep.
Like Raxel's high APM early is awesome. So I feel like these could be, I always want to pray for longer 1v1 games, but I think that these games could be
Yeah.
dynamic, let's say.
I think with what we've seen from Better, if we get a late game in any of the games in this set, however many games it goes, I will be shocked. All right, this man is, I feel like, going to hit a moment and he's going to throw his commander at somebody, but maybe that's just hopes. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
If we go over and look, we can swap to the best of three. We can see that the maps for this, should we go the whole distance, will be into Battle Redux. I'm going to try and avoid putting the in there. I want to so bad. Uh, and High Noon ours is our second match, and then Devil's Post Piles is our third. Which I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this set of maps. Into Battle we haven't seen very much. High Noon has always been cool, although sometimes a little slow in the early game. Devil's Post Piles has been awesome. Volshock, how are we
Yeah.
feeling?
No, I agree with you. I think I'm not the hugest fan of Into Battle because it basically almost never
Yeah,
goes T2. It just feels like a slaughter. All the games I've seen at least are a slaughter. High Noon, I love sort of the tech viability and just we've seen a lot of really good games on it. And Devil's Post Piles, shout out to Aiden for making a map that I don't want to say consistently goes T2, but there's a lot of really cool aspects to it
yeah,
where we do get to see earlier T2. We get to see sort of more defined expansion paths. So
yeah.
yeah, but we gotta get through two games first.
Well, our first game will be on Into Battle Redux, and I feel like we've seen this map a few times. We can look real quick. It's relatively small. Nothing too crazy with 514 wind. Not really any geos. It's a pretty simple map. Your opponent's like 2 feet from you, and it kind of tends to be what Volshock described of just kind of an early game. You get over quickly. Not a lot of tier two on this map, but uh, that being said, Volshock, if we're ready to go, are you prepared for?
Oh, my body is ready.
All
Put
right.
me in, coach.
I'm gonna swap over, and we're gonna get in and watch game one between Wraxell and Vedor on Into Battle Redux. I well, okay. First things first. Vedor doing a little bit of a dance on his mechs. Not sure what's going on there, but I like it.
Yeah, and this is incredibly. Oh, never mind. I thought it was core. So, um, Yeah, they're both core. So this
Yeah.
is just the standard core v core, which we've seen a lot of. Vedor is going to go bots, and Wraxell is going to go bots. So this could be a grunty affair, as they say.
Yeah, we've seen a couple times where players have opted for vehicles, but I really do kind of just like the bots on this. I don't know. There's just a lot of hills. It's kind of choky. I feel like vehicles has done work because vehicle and shockingly incisors are good, but uh, we'll have to see if any player can get a big advantage in these early grunt wars, as both seem to be going. I was gonna say pretty similar builds, but then I look over and Vedor's lab is idle, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, it looks like, well, Vedor opened Grunt into Khan, and Wraxell's going to open Khan into Grunt. So incredibly simple, or incredibly similar. But
Yeah.
I agree with you that I feel like you don't see vehicles as much because your commander can just hold the mid choke against vehicles, and it feels just impossible to dislodge them. So then you have to do like longer raids around the side, but those can be walled and covered with LLTs. And then if you can get maces or thugs on the high ground, they can abuse, the plasma range.
Yeah, I
But
really,
we'll see.
I am surprised every time I've seen this map, where I think we saw it one time in the qualifiers between Sabutai and Teddy, of just somebody just hitting the thug button on repeat right down the middle of the map, and it looks so scary. I'm surprised we don't see it more often. Well, Wraxell's con a little out of position here, or at least his grunts are to protect it, but he should be able to keep this con alive.
Yeah, I think it's more or less okay. And Vedor has one expanding con kind of heading to the south.
Yeah, Wraxell going a little greedier, going for 2 expanding cons, but he's defending it pretty well so far. Not, and funny enough, actually, looking at the map, Vedor's not even opting to even send that many reinforcing grunts to try and pressure. Like, both players actually going a little defensive. Not a whole lot of aggression happening, which is, I feel like, not what we've seen a lot on this map. I mean, I guess, a lot of times we've seen,
Yeah,
like, vehicles, but uh,
I think the size plays into it, right? It's 12 by 12, so it's like normally you just see so much aggression because there's so little room on the map. You just inevitably run into the enemy much sooner. Vedor drops his second expanding con, and we just see both commanders in base just being that mobile con turret for the grunt spam.
yeah, good timing on Vedor for dropping that radar as it spots the grunts starting to trickle in. Should have plenty of time to defend this, although, yeah, looking at the minimap, Wraxell is making a lot of grunts, shockingly, as there just appear to be a stream of them coming across the map. This is going to be really crucial next few minutes for Wraxell, or for Vedor here, as he very much so needs to defend this, being kind of down in army value. He's only 5% down, but Wraxell does not show any signs of slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah, and there's no LLTs on his side. He's just gonna keep using his commander's BP to pop out grunts, and first engagement is happening.
And that's going, I think, not the way of Vedor, as a little surround there. But Vedor's going to have to move his commander out a little bit just to threaten, the commander pressure against that grunt attack. All this is happening.
Yeah.
Wraxell did sneak a grunt in behind.
Oh, he did, and he's gonna get these mexes.
Oh, maybe? Oh, so unlucky.
Oh.
Well, I know, it was a good attempt from Wraxell, but unfortunately didn't manage to get that mex. Another grunt is going to peel off and maybe try and threaten this con, but it's forcing out quite a lot of LLTs actually from Vedor. Whereas it looks like Wraxell is just content to just naked expand behind this and boom his economy.
Yeah, he has one LLT up in the north, Wraxell does, but yeah, aside from that, it feels like he's just kind of rolling away with the eco side of it.
Yeah.
All the numbers are in his favor.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Look at the every statistic essentially at this point is ahead. Like Wraxell has more metal, he has more units. The resbot here is actually going to be quite good and start resing some of these units, but Vedor really needs to find a good trade of his own sometime soon, or he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'm curious if the thug switch here would play out, but I think for now they just want to keep bouncing back and forth. But these grunt numbers are concerning, right? It's what, 26 grunts versus 20. He did res some of those. But Wraxell also just has better concaves in a lot of these, or
Yeah.
better sort of separation in these. It feels like Vedor could lose some of these fights just off flanking damage alone.
Yeah, Vedor slightly too grouped. Like Wraxell could very easily get a nice surround on these grunts, and I don't know how I feel about this fight for Vedor. I suppose any grunts he kills, I guess, are on his side of the map, right? And he has the res bot there, but
Well, and Wraxell's already swapped into thugs, so it feels like this is going to get concerning very, very quickly.
this is kind of what I would have expected, right? Like, I actually like this from Wraxell. I like this build. He's pressuring, denying mexes, and I was gonna say then he swaps to thugs to actually continue the pressure with like actual strong like fighting units. But then I look at the mini map and I see more grunts coming behind it.
Oh boy.
As he appears.
Oh,
to
he might just want
thugs.
the thugs to chip. But yeah, this is a brutal economic split right now. I mean, Wraxell has 4 expanding cons right now.
Oh, man.
He's about to just take the entire map.
I mean, look at the mini map. Wraxell has a con on Vedor's side of the map taking the 3 mechs, and he's taking both 3 mexes at the moment. As Wraxell's just really pulling ahead economically. This is looking very scary for Vedor. And if this was anybody else, I would say it's looking almost game losing. But for Vedor, I would say it's almost comp throwing time, as he's very much so falling behind, or fallen behind, I guess, in every metric.
Yeah, I mean, the thugs are here now, though, right? So the skirmishing is going to get a lot more difficult because Vedor doesn't want to commit in, but the thugs can just chip away from distance. And there's those raiding grunts on the other side that, oh, they're just going to take a little siesta? No, they're not there.
Yeah.
They're coming in.
They killed an expanding con on the way in, and that is not really a constructor that Vedor can afford to lose. He really just doesn't have metal. Like, he just has no mexes comparatively. Vedor really needs to find some damage with these grunts, but I'm not sure where he even goes, to be honest.
And yeah, I mean, Vedor has swapped back into thugs. Actually, both players have swapped just into pure thugs. So maybe they can try to take some sort of favorable advantage where they can chip away at grunts and then retreat to LLTs and get the reclaim. But it's a tall order. I mean, look at that income difference, like 19 to 33, 19 to 34. Yeah, that's really, really difficult.
Yeah, Wraxell even smart enough to back up, sit on top of the hill, and just use his range advantage. And I'm actually surprised Vedor's pushing forward like this. Oh, he might actually. He has to be afraid of like the sheer amount of grunts in front of him. He could get hit with a nasty surround. Well, Vedor's gonna try.
He might be able to
test the top left corner, right? But
he does have the commander's BP though, right? So if he skirmishes, maybe he can out-trade and sort of ride the middle fight. But yeah, is he committing in this top left fight?
This is brutal. Actually, good surround, like a good line by Wraxell, just completely decimates that raid. That is a huge feat that Vedor just dropped on Wraxell's side of the map. And I think Vedor is actually reaching that moment of maybe it's time to go. Like he needs to do something crazy to bring back a 40% metal produced lead and a 40% army value lead.
He's gonna move his. Yeah, it looks like he wants to walk, but in doing that, he's going to be fighting into the defender's advantage. And with his army out of position, Wraxell can just commit all those thugs just straight at the main.
Yeah, Vedor.
Oh, and Wraxell.
Vedor's realizing he can't push it, but he already committed. He already got out of position, so he's just ending up giving all of this for free. I think Wraxell has to be a little careful not to full feed this army, as you know, you don't want to leave this amount of thugs resible on Vedor's side of the map, but Wraxell definitely knows he's ahead.
I mean, that's all just, you know, playing with them, all these raiding grunts coming on the other side. You should be able to clean up this LLT unless there's a beautiful self-D on it. And then there's exposed mexes you can clear, and this is starting to feel impossible for Vedor unless he can really, really out-trade in these mid-fights.
It's also kind of funny, looking at the minimap, I think Wraxell, knowing Vedor's reputation at this point, is not giving a Vedor any position to walk his commander at him. He's not taking any his commander's sitting safe in base, right-clicked on his lab. He's not going to give Vedor any chance to do some sort of like coin flip Hail Mary comp trade. He's not no chance. What does Vedor do to get out of this? He's making twin guards in his base, but that is just delaying the problem. I don't know how he offsets such a massive economic disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's Wraxell's playing this pretty smart though, right? He doesn't actually want to commit, because the one way that he can throw this game and that Vedor can actually take it is if he marches down whatever 15 thugs and somehow loses to the commander's BP repair or just better placement, and then those get rezzed and sent back to him. So I like that he's riding out this advantage, but I mean, 17 metal a second to 44, you're looking at it, the metal produced is closing in on double, like you were talking about. This is going to be very, very difficult.
I think we're approaching the point where instead of waiting for Vedor to do something, I think at this point we're waiting for Wraxell to decide to end the game, as he kind of just has an overwhelming advantage. He's just sitting and building up his lead, which is maybe the smart thing to do, but he probably could right-click on Vedor at this point and maybe kill him as that's a pretty hefty army value lead.
Yeah, I mean, Vedor is going to drop down a bunch of LLTs to kind of protect this mid, and he's going to do an air lab switch, maybe Shuri's, and then try to, I don't know, does he even have the economy to do that? He's going to have to cut, I mean, he ate his lab, so he's going to cut all bot production.
Oh man, look what's coming on the mini-map. Scouts coming across. Vedor, or Wraxell, already recognizing, you know, these things could happen. Air lab and fighters queued up already, and oh wow, he's actually kind of in Vedor's head. Well,
yeah, that is
well read.
Difficult. Vedor's gonna head north, take this max, but just sort of this standoff, although I think it's breaking now. Here we go.
This is looking like the Thug March. I was saying he could just right-click, and he basically is just fight moving at Vedor, and I don't see how Vedor could stop this. Sure, can
those LLTs are gonna get cleaned up. I don't even think he can commit to Shuri's anymore, though, right? Because Wraxell just has a better economy and can easily take air superiority.
Well, he's going to try, but I mean, maybe if he stuns enough before the fighters can cross the map, as it looks like Wraxell isn't actually pre-moving his fighters, but even then, like, how many thugs is this? 38 versus 17.
17.
I don't know. Look, I'm no mathematician, but that looks slightly difficult to try and climb. The Sherries are baiting me, or looking like they're gonna commit. They're gonna commit now, but that little hesitation actually might have really cost him.
I feel like he kind of half committed him, but that gives time for the fighters to come, and then Vedor's gonna march forward, but this is about to be some serious plasma battles here, some thug on thug. There are LLTs and twin guards in the base, so I think Vedor is just trying to get all these thugs in range of his port, and then maybe he can try to take this fight, but Wraxell is not falling for the bait.
I don't even know if it's bait at this point. Maybe Wraxell doesn't realize, like, does he see this? I think 40 thugs really do just walk over this. I don't know, like that's a lot of twin guards, don't get me wrong, and yeah, I guess the only way Wraxell loses this is if he hard feeds, but I see a bomber coming across. It looks like Wraxell's deciding to be more safe. Kill all the energy and he won't be able to actually fire his twin guards.
Actually, the first attack command he did on those bombers were on the thugs, which was kind of hilarious.
Wait, no, he still is.
Actually try to bomb.
Wait, whoa, what? He is bombing army. Why is he doing? That's crazy. What are we doing? Right? Okay, he swapped it again, but wow, I'm shocked at that decision. He was gonna bomb it, but no, this looks way better to me. A lot of winds die, solar dies, some X's. Yeah, I like this a lot. He's going to target more winds. I mean, if Vedor doesn't have energy, his twin guards won't fire. And in fact, I think that's already reached that point, as they aren't even shooting at the air, flying over them. Well, at some point, Wraxell will realize what's happening and just right-click on Vedor. We can only hope for that day. Vedor's gonna try and make some more energy to try and stall this, but I mean, really, what do you do? 1,000 energy to 270, and Vedor left with one singular con turret. I think actually this is his only land con just died. Oh no, he has one land con in the back.
Apologies.
Apology. Oh, did I lose you?
Yeah, you lost me for a brief second there.
It's all good. We're just waiting for Wraxell to hit the go button, as he now has how many? 49 thugs to 14. Somehow the bombing run actually killed some thugs.
Why has Vedor not tapped out yet? That's interesting.
Look, Vedor, you know, he's seen... Look, if it was anybody else, I would agree with you, but this man has come back from worse, okay? Somehow. He won a whole set in worse situations, which really is saying something, as this is a terrible situation.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it's like 4K versus 12K. There's 50 thugs here.
Yeah.
Is he afraid that there's a jammer or something? He's seen the commander, though. Like, he knows there's not a jammer. The fighters were, like, the bombers were already all over the base.
Look, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think it's physically possible for Vedor to degun this many thugs before they volley him instantly. I actually don't know why Wraxell isn't hitting the go button. He went tier 2, he's making Sheldons. He's actually gonna... This is almost disrespectful. Like, he's gonna slow walk Sheldons up here to kill Vedor, which, I mean, I suppose will do the job, but... Look, I'm somewhat...
I actually love these thug volleys where they all walk up and then fire.
Yeah. Maybe if Vedor gets another few dozen thousand of those, I don't know. Maybe he'll actually start breaking some of these thugs. Well, the Sheldons are gonna start shooting, but what do you do about this, Vedor? What is the solution here? He's making Wolverines. I don't know. I don't know if Wolverine Lasher is gonna get him out of this hole.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions, but I'm not entirely sure if they'll be answered.
Yeah, I really am. Both players actually have confused me here, as it's kind of like, yeah, Vedor has to know. Okay, he's beyond dead. Like, this is so beyond dead. There's like 40 thugs in front of him. He sees the Sheldons shooting. Wraxell sees he has insane army value. He knows he has insane economic advantage. And he's like, I'm gonna be safe and slow tickle this man down. We're not taking any chances.
I mean, this is an incredibly slow tickle, but yeah, I mean, it's over, right?
Like, not even shooting thugs anymore.
What is Wraxell waiting for? This is such a hilariously weird game. It really does feel like Wraxell is just playing with him.
Either he's playing with him, or he's actually so afraid of the witchcraft Vedor has been doing in his games that he doesn't want to take any chance. But really.
Alright, that might be fair, but when we're talking about Wolverines versus Sheldons, I think you can have the confidence to know that you have won the game.
There's nearly
he's got 10
thugs.
Sheldons.
10 Sheldons, 50 thugs, and 25 grunts. I literally cannot...
He's making a mammoth. He's literally making a mammoth. Oh, here we go.
I cannot stress you how quickly Wraxell could have just right-clicked. Man, and look at this! It wasn't even the Sheldons, it was the thugs! Like, he could have right-clicked Vedor at any point and killed... okay, we got there. We
did it. Wow.
Kind of a dominating game, actually, from Wraxell.
Wraxell looked beautiful in that. I mean, yeah, the openers were... The openers were very similar, except for that Wraxell just had more expanding cons, and Vedor even tried to snipe a con. He had some aggression, but then he just got out-expanded by Wraxell. It feels like he didn't contest all those mexes quick enough.
Yeah, I feel like in my mind, I kind of really think it was the southern expansion by Vedor. That one con stopped to make 3 LLTs because there was like 2 grunts threatening it the whole time. Like, it didn't get to it. Like, Vedor didn't get his own 3 mechs because that one con kept stopping to make LLTs. Which is incredibly bad when you're in the position of, like, you just frankly need metal, and you are just substantially behind in metal. and he just didn't recover. But we
Yeah.
are gonna get into our second game in a moment of High Noon, which we've seen this map quite a few times. Pretty cool games, pretty interesting games. I think the meta is even still developing on it, and I think we're gonna see maybe some fun stuff, this weekend. But is there anything we want to talk about? Or are we good, Volshock? We good to go into game 2?
Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, we've touched on the difference in spawn positions, the kind of side raids, the hilarious Comlock pass, the higher value mexes in the middle and on the islands. So I think all that's left to do is see if Vedor can scrounge him or can take a win. He's currently down 1, so this is match point for him. So I say we're ready for action.
All right, I'm gonna hop in. We're going into game 2 on High Noon between Wraxell and Lord Vedor. Already I can see Vedor with the arm start, which actually it's another arm mirror. The core mirror into arm mirror on this map. Kind of interesting.
Wraxell is one of the few players who's actually been playing quite a bit of ARM. His picks are relatively balanced, which is nice.
Oh, interesting. I'm kind of. I wonder like we saw the statistics, right, for qualifiers and like group stage, right, and like a lot of these games, ARM has not been very valued. I guess with High Noon, with how choke pointy it is, I guess, right? Like you can lock down the mid real quick. Like ARM doesn't really have to worry about a lot of the things it has to worry about in other maps, and has a little bit more time to shine, as a lot of ARM's strong units tend to be in like the tier 2 and beyond stage.
Yeah, I mean, I think Janus definitely can hold mid pretty well. You can just kind of like LLT Janus. I also think this is one of the few maps where ARM bots might be somewhat viable because you have things like Platies. And then you can like do good raids, and they're great fast mobile anti-air. But this is going to be what, ARM V versus ARM V, so.
And let's not forget, ARM vehicle even can make Platypus with a console, right? So you don't even need the worst lab. You can make the better lab, wink wink, better lab for these maps probably, and you could still make Platypus. And I agree with you. I think they'd be very strong on a map like this. As you've seen, like tier 1 hovers to get some pretty good value.
And this first little raiding rover, little APM stall. This rover's gonna get in and get some information, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe tap some mexes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is a lot
Rover
of
gets
solars.
in, he gets 1, 2, 3. Or solars, not mexes. Sorry, taps 3.
Oh, 4. He just turned off literally all of Wraxell's energy economy, down to 40 energy a second until those solars turn back on. Wow, that hurts a bit.
Yeah, it's what, 5 seconds, so it's 100. It's 100 E, so it's 400 energy damage.
That's definitely not nothing. Like the mech taps there early game can be very annoying. And that's well done. Now Wraxell's on the other side. He's trying to get some return damage.
I'm always a little scared for when these players are going to do the blitz transition, because I think scout versus scout, rover on rover is totally fine. Like, you want to play it for a while, but we've definitely seen players lose when they transition to blitz too early. Both players are still staying on rover, but definitely want to keep an eye out for when the actual blitz transition hits.
And I'll be honest, on a map like this, do you even do it? You know what I mean? By the time you swap to blitzes,
go straight scout.
Or even then, like the mid's gonna be blocked off, right? So we've seen a lot of times they don't even do that. Like a lot of times you'll see like people will then just focus on expanding, and then they'll go tier 2 or something. They won't even bother with like a tier 1 push. Ooh, Vedor gonna commit his rovers, but that was an awkward angle.
That was an awkward angle, and his commander is coming down from above, so we'll see. But is Wraxell gonna be able to sneak all these rovers into the base and maybe find expanding cons or mexes?
He had a really good engagement angle on that fight, Wraxell did, and he's actually gonna prune off a lot of those rovers. But I think the reinforcing rovers from Vedor will be enough to defend this.
Yeah, it looks like they will shove them out. Both commanders in mid, taking mexes, throwing down LLTs, living the dream.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I mean, right? Like, they're still in Scout Wars, and mid's almost totally blocked off. And by the time it's blocked off, do you want to full commit? Maybe you full commit onto medium tanks and like try and surprise them if they're fast teching, but I feel like it's so easy to defend this mid position that I don't know. It'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
if we see any hard tier 1 aggression.
And it's funny, after all that rover on rover battle, there's just like 300 metal on the ground. That's it.
Yeah, both players even I think have stopped making units or going mass con. I think we are going to see the quick tech just focus on economy and taking their mexes.
There is still a rover in the back that is sniping mexes and being an
Oh
absolute
no.
menace.
Oh, I actually don't know if Vedor knows this is happening, as he does not
Uh,
appear to be reacting. Oh, he's reacting now, but
oh, there we go.
okay, that was
Yeah,
good.
it gets us up three. But hey, it got two mexes, right? So
Yeah, definitely worth for Wraxell, as like this next portion of the game is not going to be on like, okay, who micros the rover better, who micros their units better. The next portion of the game is going to be on who expands better, who takes mexes quicker, who keeps their energy scaling going, and any damage like that is very important. Ooh, Vedor actually doing a front vehicle lab. This kind of screams aggression to me.
you know, yeah, I think this could work. Wraxell just pumped out like 5 cons. He's got 3 expanding cons to the north and 3 in his base, and he's dropping a con turret, and he's making another con. So with everything that he just dropped into economy, we'll see. Vedor might be able to just push through mid and end this. We could end up in one of those situations where if Wraxell, well, I think if Wraxell can survive the next 5 minutes or so, he can probably be in a commanding position to take the game. But Vedor might just not even give him the chance. He might just break all the whistlers.
Yeah, three whistlers into mass stout. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't know. I think little. I mean, maybe he's just doing it for line of sight, I guess. But
I could see that, yeah, and like minor poke damage.
yeah, the mass medium tank here. I think if Vedor is smart enough to hide this a little bit, or I don't even know about hide it because he kind of needs to go. But if this aggression can be a surprise, I don't know if Wraxell is prepared to defend this. The whistlers are going to start chipping, but.
Yeah, I mean, Wraxell, he dropped a nano and he's building a geo and he's still building solars as he mass expands. He is trusting that his LLTs and his commander and a handful of rovers are going to hold this, and I don't know if they are.
Yeah, Wraxell, he's maybe if once he gets the geo up, he can probably transition to units pretty comfortably, but it is going to be a front lab versus back lab situation, which any of those reinforcements are going to take quite some time to get there.
Geo is done and he's just got stouts on repeat. Oh, no, he mixed in Janus now. So 2 stout, 1 Janus coming in from Wraxell. And Vedor is just on the full stout. He's got 397 stouts queued and looks like he's going to try to send these through. Are they going to get through?
Man, they should get in, but ideally he killed the LLT first.
LLT.
I guess he still gets 4 rovers in. Good damage is going to be done here as there's only stouts coming to defend against this. If Vedor micros it properly, he should be able to do a lot of damage with these rovers.
Yeah, there's tons of unprotected mexes here, right? You very rarely see back defenses on the mexes. I'm also a little worried for Wraxell's comm. There's a lot of Janus potentially coming.
Oh, man. Vedor's actually gonna... Oh, that Janus connection actually deleted that solar. But kind of awkward for Wraxell there, but... I do kind of wish Vedor had used those rovers to go kill all the unprotected mexes. I think he could have done a lot of damage. But yeah, the Wraxell should have time to get his army up here. He's gonna pop a solar and do a little bit more economic damage. But if Wraxell or Vedor can actually micro and defend his units properly here, he's gonna have a decent little economic advantage. As Wraxell has already lost a lot of high-value mexes.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Breaking the front line, Vedor's actually in a metal lead, so Vedor has taken almost his entire back thing, and he's just expanding there now. He hasn't taken any geos, which is a little weird.
Yeah,
but I mean, I guess if you're just making stouts,
yeah,
who
he's
cares?
just pumping, right? Like the geo's kind of like, okay, yeah, he needs the geo if he's gonna go anything past this, but he's looking like he wants to kill on tier 1, and frankly, he's done a lot of damage already. He's killed so many mexes. and just frankly, just look at the back expanding cons as well. Like Vedor's hard out
Yeah.
expanded him. Oh, what the? This is a forward proxy HLT, or sorry, ACLT, depending on who you talk to, uh, which is not what I would have expected to see here. But it is.
I mean, it will let him trade better, and it denies this whole area. Although, is Wraxell gonna? Do you dive this, or do you just?
I don't know if he can, unless he gets like a good pop.
He's gonna try. It looks no. I don't think he will. Yeah.
Oh, the beamers are going up. Once the beamers are up, it's gonna be pretty much you just cannot do it. Not with this many units. It seems unlikely. Nope.
And Vedor's pulling ahead economically, and this entire is he gonna? He issued a move command and then stopped to like dive at all those things.
Ooh,
Does this work? Can he snipe the calm?
I'm probably not with Stouts, no. A huge D-gun.
Okay,
my god, those D-guns.
Vedor just killed all of that. Wraxell's calm is alone. He might be able to just pull all those stouts. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say you could just commit all those stouts onto the other but I guess not.
That maybe was the worst thing Wraxell could have done. He lost, like, what, 10 stouts to D-guns? Like, I don't know how you recover that.
Yeah, he lost everything, and now Vedor is just sending all these tanks. There's 15 stouts coming into bottom. I think they're going to get in, and there's one LLT. I don't know if it's enough to really stop massive economic damage. He will drop. Wait, Wraxell! Wraxell's going to commit and try to.
What is this? Okay, he's just decided to end the game. I see. I see. Because he knew he was dead, I suppose, but...
Yeah, might as well walk in.
I really like that build Vedor just did. I feel like we might end up seeing something similar, a decent amount in the main event, as that build really punishes the greed. You know, like we've seen a lot of games where players have done that thing where they just immediately tech after securing those mexes, and Wraxell's build I feel like was real good at punishing that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was Vedor's build.
Oh, sorry, Vedor's build. Yes, sorry. Okay, yeah. brain struggling, but we're getting there.
Yeah, but I mean that's awesome. I'm always excited when. So one, I agree with you because I think that is super common to just like pork it. Hey, I've got my commander some LLTs. I won't get busted. I think it would not have been anywhere near as bad if like 10 tanks hadn't gotten D-gunned. I think as soon as all those stouts went down, Vedor had sort of thrown away the game. Or sorry, Wraxell had thrown away the game. Good God.
Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. I will say the economic advantage Vedor had was definitely pulling ahead, right? As he had access, like losing the access to the 2.6 mexes is actually huge damage. Like that is, just a lot. It's just a lot. But yeah, we're going into game 3. Devil's Postpiles is a pretty cool map. Like Volshock said, it's a rather new map, Aiden's map, and I have to say Aiden is probably one of my favorite current map makers, I think, for the newish maps we've been receiving, as they've always been unique, they've been interesting, and Devil's Postpiles kind of continues that trend.
Yeah, I agree. I'm ready for action, and this is match point, right? This is the final game between these two. So one of them, their BPL run will end here, and the other one will join everyone else in the round of 8 to see where the road takes them.
Are you ready to watch, Volshock?
Oh, I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
All right, we're gonna swap over and go into game 3. Whoa, hold on. Wow, I just kind of hit me where Wraxell spawned. That is not a spawn I think I've seen.
It's definitely not a traditional spawn. It's a little strange for sure, because I feel like normally you want to spawn in the corners because then you can just you have quicker access to all those mexes, but then also your consolidated BP can just drop the Geo right away.
Yeah.
He does have the Geo here, but what is the benefit of spawning here?
I don't know, right? Because you're if you look at just the mex distribution, Wraxell has no mexes around him, and easy, quick, I mean, I guess he's gonna be in the middle of the map, so he can expand to the both big clusters quickly. But you're just gonna
And
have less metal, I feel like, because you're just gonna be further away from mexes. I don't know. I'm confused.
yeah, so Vedor 2 mechs ticked, or he's dropped 1 mechs, but this is going to be arm bot versus core bot.
Ooh.
And kind of interesting that both players had arm v. We saw core v core in game 1, arm v arm in game 2, and now it's arm v core here. But I'm with you. I'm really curious to see. I guess maybe he wants to try to. There's more reclaim here, but he didn't even open Resbot, right? He opened Khan.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see. I'm definitely confused. He's going to con as well. Is he gonna send one? No, he's sending both north. Interesting. I'm not really sure. I guess we're gonna have to see in a moment. As Vedor is gonna scout this spawn location and start tickling these constructors.
Oh, he has a grunt coming now. All right.
Yeah, poor ticks. Not as good as they used to be. Oh man.
Okay.
You know, I was thinking when I saw the arm bot spawn, statistically, Vedor's going to lose this game. Just because of the lab choice. We'll have to see if maybe he can defy the expectations, as Armbot has not had the best run in the tournament so far.
Well, especially, I mean, this is a kind of choky map, but pawn into grunt at this level is just so difficult because it feels like your main goal is to try to like out APM the other player or catch them unaware, which is just difficult because once the grunts kite, it's so hard for the pawns to really get legitimate damage in.
Yeah, and you know, it's not like Horus. Okay, maybe there's you know something there for Arm. Maybe they can use the hills to their advantage. The water on these like pathways, I'm not sure if this really can give the pawns what they need to actually get a good engage here.
Yeah, it's one thing that's weird is Vedor. I feel like Vedor overbuilt pawns a little bit on this.
Oh wow, wait, Vedor has no mexes. Yeah, you're super right. Whereas Vedor is not really expanded at all.
He's dropping cons now, but yeah, he's behind in terms of everything, and he's leaving Rex on this side of the map. Those pawns did not accomplish anything.
I think they're all gonna die. Like, I think Vedor just lost his whole army while also barely expanding. This is...
Yeah, he's got... this is super weird choices. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of like confused about Wraxell's selection there, but on one hand, it kind of worked to his advantage because it feels like Vedor opened Tick and then tried to be a little bit more aggressive, but I don't know. I feel like he may have cooked himself instead of cooking.
I don't really know how Vedor defend. There are so many grunts coming across the map here. I'm actually not sure how Vedor defends this.
There's 21 grunts and 7 pawns defending. There's not an LLT. I think you're right. This could be a really short game. Vedor is going to have to do some incredible micro here. He's going to need LLTs down very, very soon.
Oh, Vedor's commander is killing a few of these grunts, actually getting a nice little pick off there, as he needs anything. At this point, he needs literally anything. Maybe this is where you panic pump a Centurion, but I mean, I really don't know. This is so many grunts on Vedor's side of the map.
I actually would like a scent. I think the scent is good, right? Because they're kind of just like the mobile LLTs, but he is committed onto pawns. He's going to expand with his commander up to the north, but there are grunts just sitting at the front door, and I mean, I feel like they can just run up and start sniping things.
Yeah, I feel like we saw, what was it, Akumar versus Wraxell, right? Where Akumar, in my opinion, had some good uses of Centurions versus this grunt flood style, and it was actually very difficult for the grunts to deal with just pawns and Centurions.
Yeah. We have seen some insane Centurion games. Did you see? There is an incredible game if you guys haven't watched it. It's Otto versus Domino. Otto loses his main base, has a second base, and literally beats Pounder Root with just pure Centurion, basically. It's like the weirdest game
like
to watch.
That definitely sounds like him. I mean, this is looking like Vedor's once again getting contained. in a corner of the map, just unable to expand. These cons unfortunately idle, not even getting his last of his safe mexes.
Yeah, and basically all the mexes in the top right, with the exception of 2, have been claimed, and he has a duo of bot cons in the bottom right corner, taking all of those, and he still is basically equal in army value. And I don't even think he needs to commit here. If he can just keep Vedor sealed in this starting area, he is more than happy to just take every mex on the map and then do exactly what he did in game 1, just ride out that economic advantage until it becomes completely insurmountable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Vedor's commander expanding, but I really don't feel like pawn is the correct choice here. Like, Vedor is just making more and more LLTs in this choke point, but that means, sure, this is good defensively, but he's going to lose if he defends behind this choke point. He needs to actually be pushing out. And unless Wraxell really makes a mistake, I don't know if he can with these pawns. Ah, okay, so the LLTs are giving him, I guess, the window he thinks to go and raid with these pawns, as Wraxell is actually not looking... Oh, he sees it now.
I am still just baffled by the lack of Centurions right now, because I feel like this is basically their prime use. Like, it's a choky map, you're fighting into grunts, like, just drop Centurions, but I'm still terrified because there's even more sets of expanding cons coming out now. Vedor has put himself incredibly far behind.
Yeah, he's getting kind of lucky that I keep looking over and Wraxell keeps turning his mexes off due to the lack of energy. So, like, he's getting somewhat lucky in that regard, but I guess also Vedor's doing the same to himself now that I think about it as I watch his own metal fluctuate. But there's just too many grunts here. I mean, how many...
Drop a radar and immediately lose it.
There are 11 LLTs in Vedor's base right now.
Yeah, why would you not just make mobile LLTs, aka Centurions? But we'll see. I mean, there's still all this posturing up on top. I'm not sure who's gonna really take it.
I mean, looking at it, I would just assume Wraxell's already, like, this is already hugely benefiting Wraxell, right? Like, he's keeping Vedor mostly contained. He's free expanding all over the map. Oh, Vedor's actually going to get a nice little pickoff. Finally break open this front door, but...
He needs to immediately go find all of these mexes that have been expanded to, and I don't know if he'll be able to. I mean, the rest of the grunt blob, or a lot of the grunt blob, is gonna flex down, or is it gonna raid? I think they just flex down and then try to stop that. But the entire upper right is Wraxell's, most of the bottom right is Wraxell's, and he has a con expanding in mid, taking all of those mexes.
Yeah, Vedor desperately needs to expand somewhere. I'm looking at the map, and half of it is blue, and maybe what, a fifth of it is red. Like, how do you? You just can't keep up if you just don't have mexes. And once again, Vedor is kind of looking like that into battle game. He just doesn't have the economy to make units.
And looks like this top is skirmishing. This is scary. Oh no, he's gonna run all these pawns and do an LLT for us. It was just waiting for him. Whatever damage they're gonna do is gonna be heavily curtailed. Did any of them make it through?
Like, if one gets through, but I mean, maybe that kills a few mexes. Actually, it should kill a few pretty easily. Actually, it's a pawn, but I mean, that's something.
He also left. It is. He also left whatever 700 metal on the ground there. With that, I don't think he really gets all that much. And at the same time, his raid that was coming out has been cleaned up, and there's another force of kind of defending grunts there that are just keeping him choked up in this top right corner.
I feel like Vedor needs to unbind the LLT button on his commander, as he has made 10 LLTs, carding 3 mexes where his commander is. I mean, there's a lot of grunts, I guess. He's afraid of getting sniped, but yeah, that is a lot of LLT. He's making more. Oh my god.
The downside to LLTs is they don't move, but other units do move, and we see bombers out of Wraxell, so maybe he's gonna. I don't think you comp snipe, right? You just go kill the E and then the game ends.
I mean, I like this, right? Your opponent is being turtley. He's not really moving out. He's not really expanding, so you know you're ahead. Just make some bombers and go bomb his economy and push yourself even further ahead.
Battle paused.
And mace switch. Interesting.
I don't hate it, but I feel like it should have been about 7 or 8 minutes ago, maybe. This position where he
Yeah.
needed to poke out of the choke, and the pawns just weren't doing it. Like, okay, if you didn't want to make Centurions, make Maces. Like, you just this was a good way to push out. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, he has almost 2K metal in LLTs. Like he has 1,800 metal in LLTs. That's insane.
yeah. I mean, it was kind of one of those positions where I think he just. Oh, actually, good pickoff by Vedor here is gonna get on top of Wraxell's one of his grunt armies and actually eviscerate
He
it.
cleans it up. And his commander is somewhat near. That's what 600 metal, 570 metal on the ground. So maybe if he can get that and then do some more, he can get it done. But Wraxell already has 9 bombers, 10 bombers. So Vedor needs to make things happen ASAP. And maybe this Mace March can make those things happen. But Wraxell's already swapped back into Thug. So we're going to see some Thug on Mace. And unfortunately, Maces are the lesser of the two.
Yeah, I really like before Wraxell, stopped at that air production. One of the first things he actually made was 2 air cons, and he's using those to actually fly and grab these post pile mexes, which was just going to push him even further ahead. The bombers are starting to fly over, and
he's built a bunch of nettles, but I think they're.
Oh, actually, they volleyed quite well. I mean, the Wraxell's kind of getting hurt here because he didn't actually scout, right? So he doesn't have a lot of vision.
Yeah.
He's gonna get good vision with the follow-up bombers and get some damage.
So not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and at the same time, he's pushing the top right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of maces here, but like you said, Wraxell's popped the thug button, and there's really like a lot of thugs coming. Right? Look at them stream out. Oh my God, there's a lot of thugs coming Vedor's way. And the pawn raid, unfortunately, in the south did not get any value. Ooh, okay, that bomb. One bomber just did pretty massive damage on that cluster of winds.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like Wraxell is completely happy with this, right? Yep. He's like, yeah, you kill some of my stuff and reclaim it. I kill some of yours, and it's just a back and forth. He's taken every single part of this map minus the bottom left, right? He's got, like you said, the air cons that are taking the actual post piles, but he has expanding cons that have taken the top right, the bottom right, most of mid, and I don't know how Vedor is gonna do this aside from some like absurd play, but it feels like Wraxell is just surrounding him on both sides with thugs, and he said, "You may have knocked my teammate out of this tournament, but I will have my vengeance."
I think we know how Vedor wins this. He has to flip that switch. Unfortunately, he baited his opponent into making 40 thugs, so he can no longer walk at his opponent's base, but,
But he did Banshee switch.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, wait a minute.
For the comm snipe, because I like that too, right? So he, the raid came in, it's like, hell, he has nettles, he doesn't have any actual air, so I just won't even make figs. So there could be a potential here. These might get scouted by this raid up on top, though. These grunts, I think, are gonna.
Oh, they're just barely out of vision. He's Wraxell or Vedor moved him at the last second, but they. Oh, I think they're gonna get picked up. It's so close.
Maybe. And yeah, at the same time, the maces are just pushing back. Yeah, so would he have gotten the aircraft? He probably got the aircraft detected voice line, right?
Yeah.
He definitely has seen him.
Well, I was watching his POV and he actually physically saw. Okay, one is actively shooting grunts, but yeah, he did see it, and fighters are already in production. I do like this that Vedor, recognizing that they got spotted, is actually going for mechs. Never mind. He immediately made me a liar, as it looked like he was gonna start going for mexes, but instead he's gonna go for nothing. Actually, gonna just fly away and lose all of these banshees to fighters.
Yeah, the figs are just coming to clean it all up, and that entire mace army is basically dead. There's a lot of thugs coming in through the top, and Vedor is just living on a prayer.
I feel like maybe Vedor needed to commit those banshees, as trying to fly them home was just frankly never going to work once they got spotted. And Vedor has no units. He has 13 maces versus essentially the like Armageddon
50.
marching out. Like,
Yeah, he's fighting 57. Little complaint there about the arm bot.
the thing is, I don't even think this was like a pawn thing, right? Like sure,
Yeah,
it's worse, but
I agree.
he let himself
I feel
be
like
choked.
you 100%. Well, yeah, it's one. Wraxell did an incredible job just applying pressure and keeping him trapped there. But the unit choice is a little rough because if you never swap out of pawns and into something like Centurions, how are you going to outfight those grunts, right? He just could not expand. He couldn't actually push out and hold ground.
We like I would be with him, right? Because pawn versus grunt is hard. I like we've seen it. It's super hard. We've seen Akumar do it, right? We've seen him do it versus Wraxell when Wraxell is grunt spamming. Like there is hope there, and I really liked the Centurion pawns into the grunts. Like it was actually insanely hard for the grunts to engage into it. And I mean, Wraxell was just on pawn brain, and I think there was a moment where if he had made something other than pawns and pushed out of his base, and he actually started expanding, that he might have been in a good position, but
yeah,
you know what can you do?
Yeah, so that was basically the final game there. So if we throw to Group D, we can see that at the end of it. Oh, let me mark.
What?
Wraxell takes it 2-0.
Or 2-1. 2-1. And why does it say 2 Wraxell? We're doing it live. Wraxell 2-1 Vedor, which honestly, like pretty. Both games were kind of dominant from either player. All 3 games were dominant. Like Wraxell looked totally dominant the 2 games he won, and Vedor absolutely crushed Wraxell the game that he won, and it was just pretty quick, pretty solid games.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, I would say he did an incredible job with it. So that means that out of Group D, we see Wraxell and Vedor advance. Good God. We see Wraxell and Sash Korin advance, and unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Akumar and Lord Vedor. God.
I mean, both players, I think, played well. You know, Akumar and Vedor both played well. They had some good games. Vedor had some of the most entertaining games I've ever seen. Akumar had some actually pretty interesting to watch games as well. And I'm hoping that we see them again in the next WPL, and we see them continue to, you know, be fun to watch, I guess. You know, be good players.
Yeah, there were some hilarious games in there. I feel like Vedor definitely had some absurd comm snipes that let him get this deep, but Wraxell got his revenge, and I'm excited to see Wraxell in the round of 8. This is the furthest he's ever gotten in a BPL. So,
well, if we look at next, this will be what we'll see next weekend, the quarterfinals. It's gonna be pretty fun to watch this. These are some insane, like, quarterfinals. Like, if you look at this, the quarterfinals and semifinals are gonna be ridiculous. I don't know which direction they're going. But they might be better than the grand finals, to be honest, and I don't even want to promise that because that might not even be true. But we're gonna see some crazy stuff in the quarterfinal and the semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, I think the semifinals are gonna be absolutely hype. Like everything is gonna be hype. I'm excited. I'm super excited to see Otto versus Sash, Lodier versus Vic. Even like X Factor Wraxell, I think is gonna be could be good. Randy versus Flying Duck is gonna be interesting. Like, you know, Randy's like, oh, I'm not practicing as much right now. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you just think we could end up seeing some incredibly hype games where, you know, there's tons of former BPL finalists that are going to be clashing against each other, even champions, right?
A lot of champions. We got a lot of champions here. 3 of them, in fact. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Randy's won one, and he probably will not be happy with me saying that, but I can't remember. I don't think he's won one. He's gotten close.
No,
multiple times. But.
He has not. No, because winners are Teddy and then Chisato 3 times, then X Factor and then Blow Deer, and now we're here.
Could be his one. We don't know. But I'll leave the instructions here if you guys want to, or just not the instructions, the date and the time for this weekend when we can watch the finals. To be November 1st for the main event, which we will do, I believe, just the quarterfinals, correct? Which it actually says right
Yes.
there. Wow, I can read. I promise. Finals will be on Sunday, and we will see. It'll be the semifinals and grand finals, and I'm hyped for both days. I know Barkas has got a rotating group of casters. I'm probably going to be the cameraman, as I tend to be lost cameraman during those days, but it should be good. And Volshock, if that's everything, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're ready to rock, man. That was it. Thanks for that, and I'm excited to see BPL this weekend.
Yep, we will see you guys this weekend.